Alrighty then, we are live. 欢迎来到 Learn Chinese through video games. Today we have an awesome podcast called Mandarin Monkey. The links are in the description. And man, this stuff is gold. I can't believe I found this about a week ago and I've just been devouring it. So for all of our enjoyment, I'm going to disappear from the screen here so I don't distract you. You focus on the Mandarin Chinese or just relax watching the video game. It's all up to you.
大家好.
大家好.
Welcome to the first ever Mandarin Monkey Podcast.
我们第一次的聊天。
So this podcast is going to be a mix of different things. We've collated a few topics to talk about. We're going to be speaking Chinglish, probably. 我们会用中文跟英文。
对。
We're going to be speaking about different things. We've planned some more stuff for later podcasts. This will probably go on for how long do you think?
Probably, at least 30 minutes. 至少30分钟吧。
At least. I'd hope to be a bit longer. The next ones we're going to do will increase in length as well, so you can do the housework or, drive to work or do whatever you've got to do whilst listening to some Chinese and whatnot.
所以这个 podcast 广播呢，可以用来当做你的听力练习 your listening practice, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. And I suppose you could repeat a couple of the things that we say maybe during and practice speaking as well.
对，好。所以我们为什么要做这个广播呢？ Why?
So why have we started the podcast? Well, we first discussed, didn't we, why we'd want to do one, and there's a few reasons, I think. The first one is got to be fun, right?
对啊，需要有趣嘛 ，fun 有趣，好玩。
Why is it fun? Why would it be fun?
因为可以听到很多不一样的经验啊。So we can share many experiences. 那你可以分享，你可以听，然后可以有很多的故事。
Lots of stories. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me, it's just that obviously we like sharing what we do.
对。
And helping people learn Chinese, and to be honest, my Chinese as well. So you can teach me a few things on here as well, and if people pick up on it, great.
对啊，所以可以帮助 Tom 还有大家想要学习中文的人，然后所以我们也就是尽量要帮大家练习他们的中文嘛，然后扩展他们的中文能力 to expand their Chinese skills and listening skills and to help everyone to learn Chinese, 帮助大家学习中文。
Exactly. And I think also so we want just to translate, you were saying just at the end there that we like to teach help people learning Chinese.
而且听力最重要 ，listening is very important， 因为你需要听很多人说。
It's so difficult.
对，因为每个人有不一样的腔，所以你要
different accents, right?
对，所以你要多听，然后多训练你的听力，这样你的听力的技巧才会变得很好。
Yeah, so your listening skills will become really good, right?
对。
I've personal experience obviously living in Taiwan for a number of years now. I'm very used to the Taiwanese accent.
Especially mine.
Especially yours. So, but your Chinese is quite well pronounced, especially when you're teaching.
对。
Your Chinese is very well pronounced, and before, obviously, you know this, but just for the listeners, before the my 中文的老师 was 高雄人，但是他教我Chinese accent, Chinese pronunciation.
比较北京腔调的中文。
对 very 是 and and 是 and I've said this many times to many people, but and Eunice commented as well about Taiwanese people having like a lazy tongue.
对。
So what would be some good examples of?
我可以给你很好的例子 I can give you the best examples. 我的妈妈。
Oh, so difficult. Okay, but I think that's a little bit that's a little bit different in a way because your mum speaks Taiyu, right? So she speaks Taiwanese as well as Zhongwen. So and she can say money in English.
对，她很棒。
She can say money.
That surprised me the other day when she said, 有 money 什么的，我忘记了。他说 money and I went
yeah,
你会说 money
okay,
但是 yeah
but it's funny to me that the only word she would know in English would be money.
对，因为你知道台湾人喜欢 money, 钱 yeah.
Really important, right?
Yeah, the other day she said 舒服, which means comfortable.
Yeah.
But the way she said it, do you remember?
舒服
舒服,
yeah. What? So as a speaker of Chinese in a second language, it's so difficult to pick up on what someone means if they don't pronounce it exactly the way you've heard it in a video or your 老师 has told you, or so yeah. If your mum said 舒服, my brain scans all the vocabulary that I know in Zhongwen, and if it's not there, I think I don't know what that is.
你就找不到你的中文，对，所以对我的妈妈可以训练你的听力，有非常大的帮助。如果你懂它，那你的中文会变得非常好。
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I don't know. I guess in Beijing or other places they will speak. The elder people will also speak very differently, very strong, have very strong accents, right?
对，但是我还没有去过北京。
Yeah, I know.
所以如果有机会，我希望我可以去北京，然后体验 to experience 你的感觉。
Yeah, but but you understand them perfectly, right?
我可以，对，但是其实他们有很多 like idioms，对。他们的方言 their local language.
But how common are idioms in Chinese?
How common?
In speech, how common would you say they are in spoken language?
I would say, well, really, I haven't had an experience to listen to the speech there, but just according to my experience on the TV program, I watch their TV program as well. Their accent, the way they talk, the phrases they use are quite different from Taiwan. So you might need to, when you listen, when you hear a phrase or idiom they say, you might need to Google it or think about it, what they might mean.
Yeah. I think I heard one. What was it now? It was at school. One of my colleagues said to me about a chicken talking to a duck.
Yeah, 鸡同鸭讲。
鸡同家羊 you say?
鸡同，鸡 means 鸡是 chicken.
It's chicken, yeah.
同 means together. Okay, so chicken together. 鸭 is duck. 讲 means speak. So
yeah.
It's like duck and chickens
are
talking together, and then
lost in translation sort of thing. So like one of them speaking chicken, one of them speaking duck.
Yeah.
They don't really understand each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
对啊。
So where are we? Oh, idioms. Yeah, idioms in Taiwan as well. What's the sort of deal with spoken idioms? I mean, she said that off the blue. I listen to a lot of Chinese conversations at school, and I don't really hear idioms too often. It's just general chit chat, but I don't,
Well, 你可以看到idiom，我们说成语 ，okay, it's 4 words phrases，成语。你可以在书上看到成语，你在学校学成语，但是你不会跟你的朋友或是你的家人说很多成语。Unless 除非他们是非常有学问。They are very smart and their education is very high, and 他们需要用的语言是非常高级 very the language they need to use every day is very difficult. Okay, 所以 maybe 或者是你会在考试的时候你也需要认识很多成语考试。Okay, 所以to friends you don't really use idioms or phrases.
No.
除非you are teaching someone's lessons in life, like Tom 喜欢教 life lessons, 所以他可以学很多成语to use it in his life lesson conversation.
Yeah.
但是非常的难。
Yeah, I know they are really hard.
台湾人像台湾的学生，他们也很 struggling with， 他们也很就是对这个成语方面也是非常有，就是需要花很多时间 to take a lot of time to learn， 花很多时间去学习，所以成语不简单。但是很好用。
So do you think that the younger generation are not learning them so much?
他们有学习，在学校学习，但是他们不在生活中使用。 they don't use it as much
in life.
In life, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So they learn it for test. 他们就是为了考试去学习。
That's the way the culture is here, right? They don't study for fun or for even for like life usefulness. They just study for exams.
对。
Which is, in my opinion, useless. I don't, well, you know that.
对。
We've talked about it before, but.
对，那像teenage generation， 他们就是使用their special phrases， 会有新的像网络用语 ，online language，like LOL means laugh。Laugh
out loud.
Yeah， 或者是我们说在中文有一个非常好的例子，the better example is 就这样。就这样 is means that's it.
That's it.
In English.
It's over. Like.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. 就这样。但是在年轻人teenager 他们会说就这样，他们会把就这样，他们会说就
They abbreviate it.
这样 yeah， 就是把字 mix together， 他们的音 their pronunciation to mix together， 他们会说就这样。But the correct way to say is 就这样。
Okay.
Yeah, so 他们会 to create their own language.
No, but that's slang though, isn't it? So that's what happens to slang in all languages. They'll mix it, match it, and everything else.
在英文也有很多 slangs.
Oh yeah.
Like 我的英国的家人非常的喜欢用 slang.
Yeah, especially our English family, right? English family uses a lot of slang. Instead of like money, they'll say cash or dosh or wedge or nuggets, or something like that. I've got 15 nuggets, and lots of other different ones. Especially swearing. You often ask me about, how many words can in English can you use to describe a gentleman's bits and pieces, female bits and pieces and whatnot, and there is a lot because in England we're quite
open-minded.
I guess some people are. I think we're definitely more open to speaking about that kind of thing than than Taiwanese people, I guess.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but no, I mean we have a lot of words for a lot of words, especially swearing, cursing. We love in England, love it, and most sentences are accompanied by some kind of cursing or swear word, and I'm sure we'll do that in another podcast and blah blah blah. But yeah, let's go back to it. So why we're doing this podcast, obviously for fun, and I think one of the top reasons is because I guess we'd really love to chat, right?
是的，然后我们也希望你们能听我们的内容，我们的 Chinglish conversation， 这是我们平常in our daily life 我们用 Chinglish 聊天，所以我们也希望你们可以借用这个方式 to use this way to boost up your listening skill. 对，好，然后
so let's go on. So any words that we've learned in English and Chinese?
Well,
any new words?
这个需要问 Tom.
You're gonna need to ask me, yeah, correct. Well, I mean a lot of different words, and every single day. I am by no means fluent in Chinese. I'm still very much learning, which is why I guess teaching and doing videos and stuff is so exciting for me. But what?
然后你在学校也教中文，台湾学生。
At my school, right?
对，然后他们会教你还蛮多。
Yeah, so
中文新中文的。
Yeah. So I go to school and learn a lot of new Chinese from my colleagues.
对。
Who one of them I sit next to a woman at work, my colleague, a friend of mine, and I told her I'm learning Dongwon, and she most of the time she will refuse to speak English to me, which is great. So I kind of do the no English rule.
对。
When at school.
这个很重要 ，no English rule 非常的重要 ，very important.
It is
right?
very important, right? I think so. I mean, not the reason I'm speaking English in this podcast is because for beginners,
对
if
他们需要你的帮忙。
对 yeah, so they need my help. So if you're speaking a lot of Chinese, and I will speak some too, obviously, but I used to listen. Do you remember the podcast Chinese Pod?
Yes.
And I really love that. So big shout out to those guys, by the way. Yeah, really well done. There was a lady on there. Who was her name? Fiona Tian, I think her name is.
对，
Yeah.
她是 mix, right?
对 It's just she's I think half Taiwanese, half Irish, I think. or
Irish.
Yeah, Irish or English, I'm not sure.
所以他是爱尔兰混台湾混血儿 mix 混血儿，所以然后他还有另外一个他的 host right
yeah
the other host
yeah
he is from where I
pass.
can't remember but he's foreigner and he speaks really good in Chinese.
Yeah I think maybe he's from the UK somewhere as well.
So
either Irish or English or Welsh or something.
对，所以有空你们也可以听他们 Chinese pod 的广播。
Yeah, and they used to speak, and I used to listen to it before I came to Taiwan. I found a podcast. I found them because they've been going for some time. And it's a shame actually they stopped doing the podcast, but they spoke in Chinglish on that. And what I found as a beginner was I really needed the 英文 的翻译 because I wasn't quite sure, when Fiona or another of their guests would talk in Chinese a lot, I'd get lost very quickly because often they'd speak very quickly, and there was no fan E there. Sorry about that. That was a phone. Anyway,新的单词. So new words. Which new words have I learned recently? I'm not sure. I can't remember because there's so many that go on each day.
像今天早上好了，我们说今天早上我教你一个新的单字叫做地震。
Oh, you called yesterday. Sorry to interrupt. Yesterday, gift, right?
对，什么是 gift？ 在中文，什么是 gift？ 礼物。对。为什么我会说到礼物呢？因为 Tom 他有玩 Xbox，然后他需要每天进入一个游戏 to enter a game，然后去拿礼物，对，所以我教他这个单字，礼物。但礼物也是一个 common word that you can use in English, right? 所以你可以买生日礼物 which is
birthday gift, yeah, sorry.
对，生日礼物，然后情人节Valentine's Day，情人节
Christmas gift，
对，圣诞节礼物，圣诞节 Christmas 礼物，所以礼物
yes, a gift. So that's super useful. And just because, and also there's a connected word in the song which would mean to give, right? Give a gift.
对 to send, to give.
Yeah.
送礼物。
So 送礼物 So 我送你礼物吗 Would you say that way?
对，我送你礼物。
Okay.
对，14th August 是我的生日。
So it's your birthday, yeah.
对，是我的生日。然后 Tom 送我一个很大的礼物。
Yeah, so she was sorry. Just to say, yeah, it was Yula's birthday on the 14th of August, and she was just saying that I gave her a big present.
对，所以你可以说送礼物给谁？给 means to someone.
To give.
对 ，so 我送礼物给我的妈妈。我送我的礼物给我的妈妈。
So you gave your mum
a present, a gift. Okay, 我送
什么礼物？
什么礼物？
Oh, you're just giving them examples and
just sentence.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I didn't say that. I didn't explain to you. What else you can say? 我送我的老公一个礼物。I give my husband a present. 你可以说。然后在 Christmas， 在圣诞节，大家送礼物。Everyone gives presents to their friends, their families.
我们的家人 we don't really. Well, I see 英国的家人 our English family gives a lot of presents, but not so much here. It's more 红包。
对，因为台湾人比较喜欢钱。
Is that the same with all Taiwanese families, or is that just ours?
Well, the first thing is Christmas not really big here. 圣诞
No, I mean in Chinese New Year or something.
如果是中国的话，对，我们会送钱比较多。So you put, 我们有红包。
Red envelopes.
对，我们会把钱放在里面，然后都是有长辈elder generation to give red envelopes to the kids. 就是他们的爸妈会送小孩红包。然后红包我们说压岁钱，我们不说钱，但是我们说压岁钱。
I guess with money though, I think money's it's pros and cons, aren't they? So I think if you give people money, in my opinion, if you give people 钱 if you give people money, you don't have to think about it much.
No.
You just give them money, but then for them it's super useful because they can buy what they want, right? It's kind of like Amazon gift cards. If you give someone an Amazon gift card, it's kind of giving them money and they can buy what they want. So it's good, but you don't have to think about it. So it's kind of like lazy, a lazy gift.
所以你喜欢什么样的礼物 What kind of gifts do you
like? It's a great question. It depends on who from. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
If you gave me a gift, for example, I'd like something thoughtful.
Okay. 像是卡片呢
useful.
卡片 cards 你喜欢吗
Yeah, 喜欢 yeah.
来
喜欢卡片
相机 camera
Yeah, that'd be good.
因为你喜欢相机
Yeah. Or technology or I don't know, something like that.
所以你喜欢的礼物是卡片相机 more 3C products 对不对
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. 那我喜欢的礼物多是比较，因为我是女生，我是女人，所以我喜欢like makeup，对，衣服啊 ，clothes, makeup，化妆品 ，you know，很 girly things.
But I get it wrong. that's why I'm fear 我很害怕 you know about buying you 衣服 because I get it wrong. You know, what if I know your size, but you know if I get the size wrong or the color wrong or something, it's very easy to tell that the person doesn't like it. As soon as they open it, you can see their face, you know, go. You know, oh, it's nice.
对，他们会说我很喜欢，谢谢。但是他们想，这个还好。对，所以最好 the best gift 最好的礼物是 cards， 我想。对，你可以跟你的家人、你的朋友、你的爱人说你想说的话。
我这是为什么红包是很好 because they can buy what they want, right?
对啊，但是我说 cards 是最好。
Yeah, but yeah, I prefer more of that as well. Especially because in a card, at least you can write something nice. I mean, like, my mum sends stuff from 英国 to here, and it also, you know, she always sends something lovely in a card. Even if it's just a card, she'll say something lovely or whatever it is.
我觉得那个是最好的。好。
So, do you have any English words that you've learned?
Me.
It's hard to recall them, isn't it? Oh, what do you put a burrito in?
Tortilla.
Tortilla, yeah. Well, that's a Spanish word, right? But
对，那不是英文。
Tortilla, yeah, that was a difficult one to say as well. Another one, one of my colleagues found difficult to pronounce is recognize.
Recognize.
Yeah, because it's got the cog.
Recognize.
Yeah.
对啊，因为其实英文跟中文都有很难的地方。
对。
Especially accent and pronunciation. 对，腔调还有发音。
我像中文的逻辑，很困惑。
对。
For me, because of you know speaking English. Sorry, Chinese logic I find very difficult because it's kind of like it's backwards from. A lot of the time, it's backwards from English logic, and being born with one logic sense is difficult to snap out and then. Yeah. You know, snap back in with a different logic. So I make lots of mistakes on the organisation of, and also the other way around. You do too when it comes to English sometimes.
对，但是其实我会说中文更难 ，is more difficult than English， 因为中文一个字 a word，它可以有很多的意思。
对。
It can have more many meanings。
大家。
对，像那个是发音 ，that's pronunciation。但是意思 ，okay meanings， 它one word can means many different things。And the second one is pronunciation。Because we have 4 tones。那1声、2声、3声、4声，那我们4个声，对，像
5声吗？
应该说第五个声我们称之为轻声 which I'll give example. Okay, so like father in Chinese is 爸爸. This is the correct way to say. So 爸 is 4th tone. 爸 is 轻声. That doesn't count one of the tone, but we say 轻声. So you pronounce it quite, you know, you pronounce it lightly than other tones. So 爸爸 okay. 但是其实台湾人不用这个轻声，很少。 那是在中国很多。
真的吗？
对，他们有很多。对 pronunciation。然后还有一个最困惑的 example 是Tom 在大甲 is a place。his school is 大甲。Okay, so 大是 fourth tone， 甲 third tone. This is a place, a name of the place. 大甲。But also everyone. 大家。
Yeah, as in everyone will do something. Everyone jump, you know.
对，大家家。
大家。
对 ，so the second word is different. Has different tone. So 大家 everyone. 家 is first tone. So 大家. So if you say a sentence, everyone's in
大家。
How would you say this sentence?
大家在大家。
Okay, so everyone is in 大家, right? So you say 大家在大家.
Yeah.
So
大家在大家，对。But now if you say everyone in 大家 is fighting.
对 ，fighting 是打架 ，OK， 打
三个意思
，OK， 所以 everyone is fighting in 大家，
对，
好，大家在大家打架，
对，只是很难，
很难，对，我知道。
So you think like 英文很难，就是
中文很难
，sorry 中文比较英文很难 ，but it compare. I don't know. In my experience, if someone said 大家在大家打架, I think to me, my ears, that sounds like you just said either like everyone
is in everyone.
Everyone.
对
or or fighting. It says.
对 So to your ears, to your ears, these three words sounds exactly the same.
对。
但是台湾人听起来是不一样的。
Yeah, 我知道。其实在英文我们有很难的单词。For example, like a bow, right?
A bow.
BOW. Bow is like a bow and arrow, right?
Yeah.
But you can also have a BOW, which is bow.
Oh yeah.
Which is
鞠躬.
Which is like to bow, yeah.
Yeah.
And a bow of a ship. On a boat, the bow of a boat. You can have the bow of a tree.
Okay.
There's many different meanings. There's many different. I mean, they're spelled slightly differently, but they're said. It's very. They're said the same. So it's both our language have both have difficult. I just find it. It's all Taiwan. It's to me, it's all context based really than tone. And I guess as my 中文进步, I will start picking up on the tone. The other thing is obviously I don't write Chinese, which I think would probably help with the tones, right?
对，但是就是 depends on what you want to learn in this language.
I mean, like read a newspaper. To like read a newspaper, because I think they say if you learn if you learn 3,000 characters, you can read a newspaper, no problem. It's the most common sort of language.
对，但是我觉得to keep your motivation and to learn it quickly and to be able to communicate with Chinese native speaker. 你的 speaking 还有你的 listening 是非常重要的。
Yeah, I think speaking and listening is most important. When I was talking to my first ever 中文老师, she sort of asked me, do I want to learn reading, writing, and speaking and listening? I said, well, I'm going to be moving to Taiwan. I think the most important right now is to be able to go to the shops and say, can I have this? 我要
一个袋子，
对，袋子，
这个多少钱？
或也多少钱？
对
or do you 你有买什么？
但是如果你在台湾，你想要去学校，如果你想要to get degree，你必须，
如果你学习对，
你必须要学习writing 写字，还有 reading 阅读。
Yeah， 如果你要if you want to do the like HSK test and things like that, they require you to learn the writing and stuff. If you want that kind of qualification, that's fine, and that's really good. I'm sure that's really really good, and I'm sure I'll start learning writing too.
Yeah, sure. 但是你如果把你把speaking 还有 listening 学得很好，那 it will help your writing and reading.
Yeah,
lot.
I think also you associate. I mean, if I see the character written down and I learn the character, maybe I will, be able to distinguish between 大家 and 大家 and all the different 大家s,
对
more easily, because I think I'll connect that sound, that tone, but with that character.
对对 But you can recognize few words.
Yeah, from my Shui Xiao, right? From
like
school.
for example.
Y as in Y
Y.
and
Y in Chinese 是 sorry, Y means foreign.
Foreign, yeah.
Yeah, Y.
As in 外国人, as in
对
foreign person.
对
And in my school, one of the classes is like 外一家 or 外一一. So I recognize that character. I recognize 观 as in hospitality. Tourism, yeah, hospitality.
Yeah.
Pu.
Pu is normal.
Like general, yeah.
General, yeah.
ผู้一.
对
What
还有
else?
mouth call.
Call, yeah.
It's just basically a shape of a square.
Yeah, it's just a square with some legs.
人
人我知道谁
学
了
了
我知道
为什么呢？因为了很难。
Well, the using le is very difficult. To understand le, the logic of it is very, very difficult. It has many meanings, and we have a bunch of videos on how to understand le. And it still, to this day confuses me, and I think it will do for a long time.
但是如果你用很多，你如果在生活当中，对，
Yeah.
用很多的话，你会进步。
Yeah, but yeah, and I think I put them in the right place.
对啊
Most of the time, but then sometimes you can omit le and sometimes you're not, and it's just anyway. But super interesting. Yeah, in school and like 1 2 3 4 etc. I know I can see the numbers. But other things, I still don't sort of recognize some of the simpler ones like war. I don't think. And
I think you just have to read a lot, like read books or newspaper a lot every day.
Yeah.
然后你就可以 pick up some characters.
You start picking them up, yeah.
对
Well, at school, see, I think I've got a bit of a not an advantage, but I mean at school, because everything is written in Zhongwen, all the classroom signs and all of the documents and stuff, I get to see Zhongwen all the time, and that's a super advantage. And you can do that at home as well, like you're saying, buying books or watching shows and stuff.
对但是在家里面，如果你阅读的话 you read books or something, you might feel more frustrated, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't need someone to explain it, and I'm very lucky in a way 我有你 to help me, to recognize things and correct things when I'm wrong and everything else.
And in school, you just have to push yourself to understand, and that's might be the better way.
Because you're just left in the deep end.
对
Yeah. I mean, the first day I got to school here, they said they just put me at my desk, said, here's your desk. And they love, a lot of them are lovely people. I mean, they treat foreigners are sort of treated a bit like interestingly. We'll talk about probably
next time
on foreigners, but they sort of dumped me at my desk and said, here's some documents, all in Zhongwen.
And then expect you to understand them all.
对啊 and I'm pretty sure 他们知道我不会 but they dumped me and then they said, all right, off you go, and go and find that there's a detour, a map
of the school
all in Zhongwen, all the class names in Zhongwen. I didn't know what the classes would, and I had to go and find them, and then go and start teaching in sort of an hour's time, and it was difficult, but then that forced me to learn it, right? And a lot of my students speak Zhongwen to me, even though I have to reply in English, because my job is in English.
你是老师
对 anyway, where were we? We've gone well off track.
New words.
So we've done that anyway. So you learned tortilla.
Yeah, I learned tortilla, and you learn 礼物
礼物对 and
gift.
And a couple more I'll think of. I can't remember. We'll prepare it better next time. So next thing. Okay, so recently we just had a baby boy.
Yeah.
他的名字是什么？
彦星。
彦星是中文，他的英文的名字是什么？ Mason. So his name is Mason in English, and his Chinese name is 彦星。
Okay, 所以他唐彦星 actually his whole name. Tang is our surname, our family name. Tang.
我们的星。
对，Tang is a dynasty in Asian.
对，唐朝的唐。
唐朝对唐朝，Tang dynasty. 这个是你的中文老师给你的 surname 对不对
Yeah, so my original Chinese teacher gave me the name. She just said write down some ideas on who you think you are, what's your personality, what do you like.
对
And I'm like, I don't know, movies, making videos, confident, that kind of thing. I just wrote down some positive things about what I thought I was, and then the next lesson she came back with Tang Mingwei.
对
So
所以唐是那个 Tom's 的 surname 他的姓OK 所以当然我们的儿子的姓是唐那燕 actually is three fires characters together
火 Oh really?
Yeah 三个火
Yeah
So it means bright OK so 唐燕星 is star
Yep So bright star
对 bright star So we wish him to be a really bright person in
但是现在 he's just sleepy, sicky,
当然
pooey, and
他是宝宝
and smelly, but
对
but he's a joy. And we just had one, and one of the topics I wanted to speak about a little bit was we had our first baby, 我们的第一的孩子在英国对不对
对
we took her back, 凯瑞 Tang Kai Rei
对他的名字是唐凯瑞
对 You've probably seen her in a couple of the videos on YouTube if you watch the YouTube stuff. She was born in England, and we took her back there to have her. And how was the experience?
当然我很紧张 very nervous 非常的紧张是我的第一次
first time
然后对我不知道怎么办
You didn't know what was going to happen, right?
在英国我不知道怎么办但是我的老公 Tom 他就是让我觉得很安心 to make me feel
support
calm,
you, reassure you, yeah.
对well 语言 is my problem really because many medical terms 我不知道很多医疗的用语对 medical terms
Yeah, my problem too here is the medical language is different. Conversational versus medical language totally different.
对所以 every time 我们去找 midwife 他说很多 medical term 然后我就需要这是什么这是什么
对
为什么
所以
他在说什么对
解释
对解释然后他会用中文跟我说midwife 要你做什么做什么对所以midwife 其实在台湾我们没有 midwife 我们有医生对
就是我们有护士
对你们有医生护士还有 midwife
对 So we have doctors, midwives and nurses
对你们有
But here we just have doctors and nurses
yeah.
But no nurse that's specific for the babies not like someone who will follow up constantly with the baby and, and teach you
对啊然后the surgery I would say it was
so we had a C-section by the way just it wasn't a natural birth it was an emergency C-section for Kai Rei that we had to have due to some complications and essentially we were sort of rushed off Yula was in labour for about 10小时
No, over than that. Because 20 more hours.
There you go. Okay, and then but got to a point where the baby we weren't making the progress the doctor wanted, so they thought right we got to get her out of there.
对
And off we went. Obviously Yula was very nervous.
对啊，所以我有剖腹 C-section， 我们说剖腹产 C-section birth，
但是没有痛。
对，对，没有痛。
或一点点。
对，就是我们会有那个 epidural， 他们会打针，然后是打在你的背上 on your back。
所以他们给你so they gave you an injection in your back just before the epidural, right?
对
To numb your back.
但是在台湾没有。
So with Yenxing, with Mason, in Taiwan, they didn't give a numbing injection to the back before they gave the epidural.
对
So in England,
they did it.
It was painless because you felt the pinprick for the injection for the numbing, but then the epidural, excuse me, you said you didn't feel.
对
And I was there with you. I was holding your hand. We were together the whole labour.
对
But the whole delivery, excuse me. But in Taiwan, 没有打针 right?
没有，然后你就会觉得好痛哦
So really painful. And they wouldn't let me in the room to hold your hand.
No.
So in Taiwan, they don't let the husbands, if any of you are wondering, into the delivery room.
非常少 There are still few examples.
Oh, there's a few hospitals, right?
Yeah. 但是在台中没有。
没有 so there's no hospitals in Taichung specifically. I think we did hear in Taipei 他们有。
有台北有。
但是我不知道在哪里。
但是我们不能去台北生小孩，所以
We're not going to go and have a baby in Taipei.
所以对 Tom 没有跟我一起 ，OK， 所以在英国，然后对，在英国 Tom 跟我一起，然后宝宝出来之后，他们会让宝宝跟你一起。
对。So it's very important for the baby to be with us at all times in England. So that they put the baby on your chest as soon as you give birth. You get to cuddle. You get to bond. Obviously, Daddy gets to see the baby as well. You get to hold her or him straight away. And then you're basically never without the baby.By your side, even at night, right? For a long time.
对，我在英国，我几乎没有时间睡觉。然后Tom 不在，因为他回姐姐的家，洗澡啊、吃饭啊、睡觉。然后我跟我的宝宝一起在那个 room 里面。对，但是他们护士会帮忙。如果你说我需要帮忙，他们会帮忙你。但是most of time 很多时间其实你都是跟宝宝在一起的。但是在台湾，其实我们比较 focus on them resting.
So they take the baby and they put her in a room, right? And you don't have your baby. You can see your baby twice a day, yeah? 5 days or whatever it is.
That's our experience.
对
that's our experience. But normally, they will just be in the baby room. 很多护士会帮你照顾 to look after your babies.
你不是一起，
对，没有一起。但是你可以打电话跟他们说，我需要我的宝宝，我需要喂他们喝奶 to feed them, to breastfeed them. 他们还是会给你宝宝，但是 most of time, 护士是跟宝宝在一起的。对，那我们不一样，我们 Mason 他有一些问题，所以他必须要在 EU 里面。对，所以我们只有一天 a day， 一天只看他2次。
对，因为我们有问题。
对。
But okay, so what about the recovery from the surgery? Are they the same?
我会说一样，
okay.
因为就是痛。
Yeah, so it hurts, and there's a month or two recovery after a C-section. So.
对，第二天其实，在英国他们第二天你必须要走路，在台湾也是一样。第二天他们会说，你需要走路，所以你可以好得快一点，你 can recover soon。然后在台湾我们有第一个月你必须要坐月子。the first month you can't go anywhere else. 对，然后我们叫做坐月子。The first month of postnatal recovery.
Yeah.
对，然后你第一个你不能出门 ，you can't go out. 你不可以下床 ，you can't leave your bed. 你必须要 lay down. 你必须要躺在床上躺着。OK, lay 就是躺在床上，然后你需要像我的妈妈帮我煮早餐，breakfast, lunch 午餐 dinner 晚餐，她就会准备，我的妈妈会煮饭给我吃，我就不能做很多 houseworks。对，这是坐月子，你必须要休息，有很多很多的休息时间，所以 I was like a bit
yeah.
很no freedom， 就是很不自由。
Trapped,
对，然后但是我没有一个月都在房间。I left the house, just for breathing air.
Yeah, go for a little walk or something.
Yeah. 不然我会得忧郁症。depression 忧郁症。
Yeah.
对啊，所以 recovery 我会说一样。对，但是在英国比较自由 ，you have more freedom during the first few months recovery。但是在台湾，老人 old generation 他们会要你在房子里面1个月，对，所以我会说差不多。
Is that where the tradition of not washing your hair and stuff comes in?
对，他们说你不能洗头，像我的妈妈说你不能洗头。
Yeah, you can't wash your hair.
对，但是我洗头，我每天洗头。
Yeah, and also there's some silly traditions as well about ghost babies and stuff. You're not allowed to fix things in your house.
对， that's during pregnancy.
That's during pregnancy, yeah.
所以就是在你怀孕期间，你不能移动 you can't move anything in your rooms.
Yeah.
对，但是我们好像有。
对， and we had to because we set up a new baby, you know, a room for the baby and this kind of stuff, and
we put a new bed in. 所以 no 就是 generation how do you say
superstitious, yeah,
superstitious 叫迷信。对，老人很迷信，他们 they believe this kind of things very much。但是我们年轻人 new generations 我们其实不太 care 不太在意不太注意，对，所以 this is my experience 我的经验。
好 I'm sure we'll speak about it more as well. If anyone has any questions, just let us know, especially about birth, if you're going to have a baby, especially your first one. You can always ask, and please do. I think we're going to also what we're going to do on this podcast, just to let you know, is we're going to do a few, and we're obviously not sure how many people will listen or watch, but we're going to go live on YouTube and maybe Facebook when we start the next few up. We've just got to get the setting for it, because at the moment we're not in the right sort of place to do to make it look professional enough.
We need
really.
a new office, 一个新的办公室。
对，很大的， or at least a bigger one. But we will do that. We're going to keep going on anyway because we enjoy it.
对。
The last things we're going to talk about quickly is some of the business ideas that we've got that we're going to, or some of the things we want to be doing with Mandarin Monkey, and why.
对我们的事业 our business.
Yeah, so we started Mandarin Monkey. We started Mandarin Monkey because we wanted to help people learn Chinese, and we really didn't have an end goal to it, if I'm honest. Like there wasn't like a mubiao, there wasn't like a money goal or anything like that. It was just sort of like we enjoy doing this.
对，因为你想学中文，然后我又是中文老师，
对，
所以 we mix the idea， 我们把这个 idea 结合在一起，然后 Mandarin Monkey 就是我们的小孩 our child.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how we started our idea.
Yeah. And I think, it's evolving as we go on, because obviously we've got back it. We've had a bit of a break from the videos on YouTube. We started when we had our first pregnancy. We made about 50 something videos, and we did a few every week and got some good traction. 但是 then we had the 然后我们有
第一个宝宝，
对，所以 we had the baby, 所以我们不能，
我们休息了，
对 we had a bit of a break, and then
然后我们就来台湾了。
Yeah, then we came to Taiwan, had to have another break just because we had to set up life, and then we sort of had another baby.
对，
所
以就是有很多life things to bother us, to stop us.
Yeah. We're sort of going through that age at the moment where we're sort of like we're starting to have a family, and we've been married and we had a family, and
especially when you settle down in the new country, you have to do many things like jobs, like houses,
visas,
对，所以我们很忙，但是我们还是回来了，我们做我们喜欢做的事情。
Yeah, so at the moment obviously it's summer holidays, so we can definitely get a lot more content out there, and we're going to be planning to put a lot more content on Twitter, so do get involved at Twitter.
对， Instagram.
That's so the Twitter handle is @Mandarin_monkey.
对.
You can find us there if you're not there already, and we do regular sort of graphics and GIFs and stuff.
And statements and things that is happening in Taiwan.
Right, and then it might help you. It'll help you get to grips with some Chinese things as well, phrases and stuff. Yeah. On YouTube, we're going to upload as many as we can, as much as we can, as often as we can.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that obviously we both do have day jobs. Whilst doing this simultaneously, so because YouTube doesn't, we don't get money from YouTube. It's just, mainly for just helping out.
Yeah, just helping. And also, if you want to learn any grammars or what kind of topic would you like us to do, just leave the comments, and then we will, do our best to make a video for you to help you. Yeah,
我们会. We've also thought about playing games. Obviously, we like to
play.
Yeah, 玩游戏, right? We like to
most of the time.
Yeah, like to play games. If we have time between putting children to bed and whatever, we like to play games together, like couple games. We've recently been playing something called Portal Nights. We played Minecraft before. Resident Evil, like the zombie game. What else have we played?
还有那个 Lego.
Oh yeah,
我还蛮喜欢 Lego 的。
对 all the Lego games.
对。
And we were thinking about recording them and playing them, and obviously speaking 中文 and so we can learn some words from the game. You can teach me some stuff.
因为玩游戏很好嘛，我们喜欢玩游戏。然后如果你可以玩游戏在家学中文，那不是the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's like the best thing. Yeah, to play games and teach Chinese. That's the best. But you know, at the moment we're sort of struggling with how to do that technically.
对。
We're not sure how to do that yet.
If you want to help us, welcome.
If you know how that's done, I've done some googling, but it seems like we need quite a lot of equipment, especially on Xbox. If we're going to play on Xbox, how do we do that?
对 Xbox.
I don't know. Maybe we have to play on PC.
如果你可以帮我们，当然非常的欢迎 ，very welcome. 然后这样子我们可以帮助更多人，让我们的平台 to let our platform to be more interesting.
Yeah.
更有趣。
We've also thought about Eula's making a book as well. We're gonna do some ebooks for free, which are gonna have lots of phrases and things like that in there for you guys to subscribe to. The website we've put up and then taken down again, and I'm planning to put up again. So we started a website, mandarinmonkey.com, which we still own, and we took it down because we felt it was just a little bit complicated.
No problem.
Yeah, lots of technical problems. We had it sort of built professionally. It cost a lot of money to get it up, but the guys who built it really didn't sort of stick to the plan, and it ended up just being like a confusing mess with a complicated scheduling system for live one-on-one lessons and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're sort of redoing it at the moment ourselves. We're going to put it back up, and we're going to put on a course of lessons.
对，我们会有中文课程跟，所以当然我是老师，那我就会跟你们有中文学习的互动。那也希望你们有兴趣的人可以，之后我们的网站 our website is done， 我们网站好了之后，你也可以有兴趣的学生可以过来看看，然后跟我跟 Eula 一起学习中文。
对。So we'll have a course of lessons. There'll probably be 10, 15, 20 something lessons we'll put together for you. They won't be on YouTube. They'll only be available on mandarinmonkey.com when it's up. There'll probably be a small charge, something nominal, $5 or something, or a couple of $, just to help us with
to have more invest on something.
Yeah, to invest in more stuff and maybe get a better camera, some or the server cost and stuff. And if you enjoy them and you buy them, great. And if you just want to keep listening to YouTube or the podcast and stuff, that's great too. Why not? So other than that, as I said books. I've said the YouTube and the courses, websites. Anything else? Oh, game streaming, we've done
game
that.
streaming, 对。
And the podcast, this is new, so this is all new.
因为其实我们比较忙，我们有工作，那我们不能拍很多片 we can't film really many videos like YouTube they are doing. 所以我们希望借由 podcast 然后来跟你们分享更多中文的资讯，教你们更多中文，然后这也是最快的 ，is a really fast way to do。然后我们也不需要很多的 editing。
对 and titles and green screens and yeah.
So we don't want to be disappeared again.
对
That's the last thing we want to do. 所以我们希望我们现在做 podcast， 那未来 in the future 我们也会有很多 podcast。然后 to have to talk about many different topics, many interesting like learning topics or travels different country and or moving countries.
我们会计划。I mean, we will have a plan. And next time we do a podcast, and we want to do at least 1 or 2 a week podcasts. So we're going to do that in the evenings, and we'll put them out to you guys. Sorry if the time's a bit crazy, because obviously, 我们住在Taiwan, so our time will be a little bit different to yours if you're in the States, or if you're in England it's 7 hours. So but next week we're going to be having the news. We're going to put some good news in there. We don't really like bad news. We're not big fans of negative news, so we're going to put some positive stuff on there. Maybe some funny news if you can find it from all over the world, not just in Taiwan. We're going to have some technology stuff.
对，这个就是 Tom 喜欢的了。
Yeah, 因为我真的喜欢。So we'll have some technology, something interesting, whether it's, from VR or 3D printing or Elon Musk's next adventure. And obviously we're going to mix 中文 in there as well. So 你会学习。 the last thing we'll have is Eula's meal of the day. So this is maybe Taiwan 的 or what?
我会说，其实 Tom 比较不能吃 ，you can't eat like Taiwanese food really。
火锅。
对，火锅你不能，因为会让你的肚子不好。对，所以 mainly 大部分我会做西式的。means Western style food 西式的晚餐，然后Tom 他有在健身，有去那个健身房运动，所以他需要很多 like 不一样的 nutrition.
Yeah. So I go to the gym quite a lot, so I need the calories and the good nutrition. Yeah.
对，所以我会跟大家分享 to share what kind of food I do every day，就是我会做的晚餐啊。有哪些？对，好。
So other than that, that's about it. I mean, if you have any questions, as I say, you can. At the moment, we're going to post this to YouTube. We're going to post this to iTunes, I believe, and then SoundCloud. I think anywhere else we can basically put our podcast. We'll put it on. So if it's on iTunes or the podcast player, please download. If you know anyone who's learning Zhongwen, please pass on the message and say, hey, these guys are going to be helping you with, Taiwan and maybe speaking about things that are interesting or not.
And the most important thing is 如果你有任何问题中文的问题一定要问我们 because this podcast is to help you guys to learn Chinese. So if you have any like Chinese problem questions or which part you don't understand us 就是跟我们说我们会回答你 we will answer you.
Definitely. So let us know. You can get in contact with us, as I've said, on Facebook. We're at Mandarin Monkey. Twitter, which is Mandarin_monkey. You can email us at themandarinmonkey@gmail.com.
On
YouTube, obviously, if you're there, which is YouTube/Mandarin Monkey. Other than that, that's it, and then I guess we'll see you next time.
好啊，下次见咯，拜拜 Have a good day. 大家好
Hi everybody.
又来到了广播时间。
This is podcast number 2, The Differences.
我们不同的用语。OK， 在每个国家有不一样的用语，像我来自台湾 ，Tom 来自英国。那其实中文也有区别哦。如果你是住在中国，还有你住在台湾，有些字是不一样的用语，对不对？
Yeah, so if you're speaking Mandarin in Taiwan, if you speak Mandarin in China, there's going to be, a number of differences with the Zhongwen. It's the same actually in America and England.
对
So there's lots of, actually in many different English-speaking countries, South Africa has their own, Australia has their own terminology for different things, and we'll talk about those as well. But we wanted to start with the differences between Taiwan 的中文 and 中国的中文。
对，其实他们一样的用语，但是就是当你在中国说一些台湾用语的话，他们可能会听不懂你。那所以呢，如果你有机会可以去中国
Do you really think that if you learned Dongwon in Taiwan and then you went to China, they wouldn't understand? They'd understand your Chinese, right? But if you use certain words in Chinese, they may not, or what? Would they understand the context of it?
我有几个中国的学生，像我在上课的时候，我可能会用，比如说 ，for example， potato， 我教他们怎么说potato in English， 然后当然 I translate it，I say 这个是马铃薯。但是他们懂，但是他们会说是土豆，他们会说他们自己的用法。
So in Taiwanese 中文 what does 土豆 mean?
是马铃薯 potato.
So 土豆 is the same. It means potato in Taiwanese Chinese.
土豆 in Taiwanese means peanut. So basically it's a Taiwanese accent 偷刀。土豆 is 偷刀。在Taiwanese means peanut, but in Chinese is potato. 所以土豆有2个意思 ，two meanings in Taiwan's Chinese。对，但是在中国，如果你说土豆 ，that means that is a potato。
Okay,所以如果你用马铃薯，他们不懂你吗？
不懂，他们知道，但是不会用。
Oh, okay, so they don't use it.
对。
Do they use 马铃薯 at all for any reason? Like, does 马铃薯 have a secondary meaning in 中国 or is it just...
I don't think so.
Okay.
对，应该是只有台湾用马铃薯。
所以如果你问他们，如果你说我要马铃薯，他们会给你什么？不知道。Nothing. But they just laugh.
Maybe, well, to some people, they might understand your meaning. They might just give you potato. But if some people don't understand what you mean, they might ask you, what is 马铃薯? Maybe you just have to say, 我要土豆.
土豆.
Then they will understand, you want potatoes.
但是如果在台湾，如果你用土豆，
他们会给你
peanut.
Yeah.
Okay, what's peanut butter?
花生酱.
Okay, so what's the difference?
So
土豆
is Taiwanese. 头刀.
Okay.
花生是中文. 所以花生 and 土豆 they both are peanut.
Do they both mean the same thing?
对啊，对。只是老人会说头刀。
老人会说？
对，老人他们说我要头刀，我吃头刀 I eat 头刀。
Okay.
但是年轻人 new generation teenagers 他们会说我要花生。
花生。
对。
Okay, yeah. So I've heard that much more commonly here. 花生酱 buying peanut butter or whatever. Never 土豆酱. Is that a thing? 土豆酱你可以说吗？
To old people?
Like someone in like 全联 or somewhere like a 超市 would they understand you?
很少人说土豆酱。
How do you say what's peanut butter in Taiyu? In Taiwanese? Peanut butter.
I never heard my mom say that before.
What, peanut butter?
Yeah.
It's not very common here though, to be fair.
No, because we don't eat peanut butter a lot really here. 但是你吃很多花生酱，对不对？
对。
对啊，但是在我们台湾，我们吃花生酱只有在吃吐司的时候 toast，我们会有花生酱，但是我们不会 eat the peanut butter with spoons， 没有。
Yeah, well, 我是 but okay, so how would you say butter in Taiwanese?
Butter 是butter 可以有很多意思 like butter you put it in cake 那是奶油
Okay.
但是
奶油 that's
对
good.
奶油 if you make cake you need to put butter in there
So 奶 is the same in Taiyu as it is in
奶
Taiwan?
is milk
Yeah, 奶 what's that?
oil 奶油
奶油
对
okay.
但是如果你说 peanut butter 这个 butter 是酱 sauce 我们说 sauce 酱但是英文你说 peanut butter 对花生奶油 peanut butter
But in Taiwanese it's the same
没有台湾是说 peanut sauce literary translation 我们说 peanut sauce 花生酱但是在英文你们说 peanut butter 花生奶油
So it's the same in Chinese and Taiwanese? Interesting. Okay.
对啊
So what other differences are there with the Chinese and Taiwanese Chinese?
好还有比如说比如说如果你需要 taxi 在中国如果你需要去
小花
对在中国如果你需要去别的地方你跟他们说出租车在中国
他们会用
出租车
OK
对出租车那在台湾两个你可以说小黄 little yellow 对你的中文老师在英国
对 she was a very old Taiwanese lady
对
who she said I can just say 小黄 if I want to know yeah and you laughed I think the first time I ever said that
对因为它是 very like oral local language 小黄还有你可以说计程车对
okay.
计程车 taxi 但是现在在台北有 Uber
他们会说 Uber 吗
对就是说 Uber
Well, that's because it's new technology, right? Because Uber's the company, so yeah. Okay, you can. So 在台湾你可以说吗
Uber
他们会动。
我不知道台中有没有。
I've never seen it. I haven't seen any here.
对，因为很多台北的朋友他们在台北就是叫 Uber， 就是很it's kind of taxi Uber。
Yeah, no, everyone will know Uber, so someone comes picks you up and in their own car and stuff. But I haven't heard much about it.
但是在台中有 U-Bike。对
And now U-Car.
对 U-Car， 对，我们看到 U-Car on the way to our daughter's school. U-Car。很奇怪，好奇怪。
Essentially, we were outside a 7-Eleven and we're driving past a 7-Eleven, and now we've seen a few of them pop up around Taichung.
对
There's some rent-a-cars, and they're sitting in little car parking spaces. They've got meters, so you have to put your card in. You rent the car for a number of hours,
对
and you have to bring it back to that space. So that now there's a company doing rent-a-cars like U-Bikes, like rent-a-bikes.
对，所以在台中，我们现在住在台中，所以我们目前 so far 我们看到有 U-Bike 还有 U-Car， 很奇怪very strange to me。在台北，他们有Uber。对，但是如果你要 generally 你可以说 taxi， 你如果要坐 taxi 你可以说小黄或者是计程车。So taxi is 小黄计程车。
你在中国你可以说小黄吗？他们会懂你。If you say little yellow 小黄。
But last time we went to Hong Kong，
但是他们是广东人，所以
他们说 Cantonese。 对 But I haven't been to China yet, so I really don't know. Maybe next time we can try 小黄 in China and see if they understand us.
Yeah, well, I remember when we went to Hong Kong, I remember I was very interested to ask you when they started speaking Guangdonghua. I know obviously it's a very different language. I didn't realize how different the language is.
Yeah, but after that we've realized it's totally different.
So different. Like, you were stunned. I mean, I was not shocked that I wouldn't understand everything they were saying, but you were stunned when the woman started talking to you in Guangdonghua, and you were thinking, what?
I didn't understand at all
anything what she was saying. No, so
不懂。
yeah, super confusing. Okay, so we've got Xiaohuang, and then
and I see. When you say I see, when you tell someone some information and they want to say I see, I know. 在中国他们说我晓得。
我晓得。
对，我晓得。在台湾你说什么？
我知道。
对，我知道。
Yeah, 我知道。That's I hear that so often.
对，
我知道，我不知道。
对，在中国他们说我晓得。
我晓得 really?
晓得。
What's the literal meaning of that? What's the 翻译？你可以翻译。
Well, 晓 just mean understand.
Okay.
晓，的 just mean you have received it. You have received the information. So 我晓得。
Okay.
对。
我晓得。Okay, 好。All right. So, but again, if you're in China, you could say 我知道 right? 我不知道，他们会知道。他们会晓得吗？
他们懂。I think many words from you use in Taiwan, they understand, but they don't use it. But when you use the Taiwanese way, they still understand you. But they will answer in their own way.
Is it this? Would you say the relationship is the same as if I was speaking to an Australian, or if I was speaking to an American, we would understand each other, although we would use slightly different words to describe the same thing?
Yeah.
Would you say that's the same?
I think so.
You get it, but your personal.
Your reaction is to use your own way to reply.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
The ATM. You need ATM in every country, don't you?
Of course.
所以在中国你可以说取款机。
取款机。
对，取 is to withdraw, to get. 款 means money. 机 is machine.
Okay.
所以取款机。在台湾呢 just only one word's different. The first word we say 提款机。
提款机，
对
但是你可以用 ATM， 他们会懂你。
对啊，当然。
如果我说 ATM，
对，
都人知道，
大家都知道。
对，
所以你可以说ATM， 在中国你也可以说取款机，在台湾是提款机。好，再来小姐。
Oh, that's a difficult one, isn't it? That's a difficult one.
This one is the one that you have to know. 为什么
？Because in Taiwan it's acceptable to refer to ladies as Miss. 小姐 you can call people Miss, but in China, 小姐 would be, I'm sure a lot of you know this anyway, you've probably done this research or seen this on a video somewhere, would also mean prostitute or working girl or working lady of the night. So you can't, I mean, you could, in Taiwan you can be in a chanting, you could be in a restaurant and say, 小姐, and they'll come over and you can order whatever you want, but in China, I think it would be seen as very rude.
对
Very rude.
So what's the way it's not rude to say Miss, like if you're not married 你可以说女士。
女士。
对，所以if your surname if your surname is like, okay, for example, my surname is Tang, okay, 你可以说唐女士 but I'm married, so
太太。
对，唐太太。对，所以
Isn't 太太 though, doesn't that refer to like an older lady? Would you, I mean, if someone said, 今晚太太 wouldn't you be offended? Would you think that she's like they may be referring to
depends
an older?
on people though. To me, because I'm now 26 years old, and if you call me 太太, I would like, I'm not that old. But you can say 女士. But still, people will call you 唐小姐。
他们会说小姐。
对，唐小姐。在台湾 it's okay, 你可以说唐小姐。
Is it the same for men? Do men have one or is it not?
Men in Taiwan 是先生。
先生 yeah.
对。
That's just it, right?
对，唐先生，你是唐先生，我是唐小姐，我是唐太太。对。
Yeah.
好，所以小姐 very important. Don't say that in China, please.
Okay, so all right, so they can't say that. What can they say again? What's the word?
女士。
女士 okay, so
我太太。
Oh, so 太太 or 阿姨 Can you say 阿姨 in?
No, it's not.
I've had a lot of people call sort of like not old but just like middle-aged women auntie here.
Yeah,
no?
but it's like too stranger though. Like if you don't
Is that
know.
too informal?
It's quite formal really. If you go to a supermarket or anywhere else, and if you want your child, your kid to call someone else stranger 阿姨, you can say that. But
所以如果我要知道如果他们有买面，我可以说，嘿阿姨，今晚
可以，我会说我在台湾，我去超市 supermarket， 我会说阿姨，面在哪里？
如果我说吗？
可以啊，可以，阿姨，我小姐。
我想他们会 look at me like I'm a weirdo。
应该是不会啦。I don't think so. 你可以说阿姨，我小姐，请问，东西在哪里？对，所以在台湾it's not too many limitation. 但是在中国 please don't say 小姐。
I think I just to prefer. I mean personally, I just avoid any of those and just say 不好意思 or something.
对 just don't call them anything.
Yeah, just don't say anything. Just say excuse me or whatever it is, and then get their attention instead of calling them anything, just in case you might.
对啊 But in hospital or in like when they try to sell you things, they need to call you something.
Yeah, sir, madam, yeah.
对 madam, 所以他们会说唐小姐、唐先生，对。
Okay. 好。So what's next?
Trash, rubbish.
垃圾。
台湾我们说垃圾。Every morning我们需要丢垃圾。
Throw the trash.
对。
丢垃圾。
在中国你说垃圾。
垃圾 they say.
对。
Do they say 丢垃圾？
丢。
Would it be throw?
对，好像是丢。
来，
my 舅妈，我的舅妈，my uncle's wife。
她是中国人。
她来自麒麟。中国麒麟，然后以前 like before I heard her say 垃圾丢垃圾，不说垃圾， 但是他现在在台湾，所以他现在说垃圾。因为
Actually, just mentioning that. Sorry to go back to it because I this is one thing I was learning in Zhongwen that would confuse me a little bit was the word 抛弃 丢弃. Like, what's the difference? I know they're both abandon, aren't they? Like, they're like, 丢 is like throw, but 丢弃 is like throw away.
对。
抛弃 is the same, and then 背弃 I think is also one.
抛弃 is you abandon someone, like
someone, like a person, like 我抛弃你.
对，你不要我，你不爱我，所以你抛弃我。
So could you use that for like dumping someone? If you were going to break up in a relationship, would you say 我抛弃了他?
对，可以。
Oh, really? Okay.
我被抛弃 I am abandoned.
It's a bit of a harsh way of saying it.
对，
right?
我被抛弃。丢弃 is 丢弃 something. So if you have an old laptop, you want to throw it away, you want to buy the new one, 你可以说我丢弃了我的电脑。对，丢弃 something, 抛弃 someone.
Okay, so I threw away my laptop.
Yeah.
I abandoned this person.
对。
All right.
背弃 is more like betray.
Oh.
To betray someone. So 我背弃了我的老公. I betray my husband.
Yeah.
对。
Interesting.
这就是不一样的。
Sorry.
抛弃、丢弃 and 背弃. Good example though. They are very hard words. They are hard words in
different to distinguish between the few of them, the lot of them, and that's why Chinese is such a challenge.
对啊。好，再来和 and 和。
Yeah, okay, and, right? Or with.
对 yeah. So 我和你在中国你可以说我和你，但是其实在台湾你也可以说我和你。
So you say 我和你去 somewhere.
对。
But in Taiwan you'd say 我和你 or 我跟你.
对，我跟你
Yeah.
我和你我和你 They all are.
They all mean and or with this person.
in Taiwan as well. So
你可以说和吗? So I can say to you 我和你去 somewhere and that's fine. You'd understand that as a Taiwanese person. You'd understand. Okay.
但是 your tone has to be really clear.
Yeah, okay.
So 我和你 if you say 我喝你 which is in first tone
Drink.
would be I drink you.
I drink you. Okay.
So people would get confused like why do you want to drink me?
Is that I'm assuming that there's no meaning to that.
No.
我和你 that doesn't mean anything.
No.
Okay, it's not the same as eat.
吃
There's no sexual meaning to 和你 right?
对
Okay, that's fine. Just to make that clear.
Okay 对好 And so when I was a student in university, I learned English obviously. There are different ways in American English and English.
Yeah, actually a lot of people in Taiwan learn American English. I mean, even when I teach at school, I teach American English. I teach them American English. I teach them also English, British English, because I am British, and I think they need to know the differences in different words. Also, I will pronounce different words different ways. Like Americans will say can, and I'll say
can.
They'll say can't, and I'll say can't.
对
Which is obviously very, very different. Or they'll say grass, and I'll say grass. Yeah, or glass.
A
or
sound.
Bath. There's an AR. And to be honest, a lot of the time, even though I am English, I think the Americans probably have got. I've said this before. They're probably correct on that pronunciation. I just think that Middle English accent that I've got is, probably is difficult to understand. Not as much as north. If you go to the north of England, they will say grass. They'll say grass. So they'll have a very similar accent to the way of pronouncing things than Americans, but
yeah, like airplane. Like when I learned this word in school, because AIR, we were told that when you see AIR, you have to pronounce air.
That's American,
yeah, very very American pronunciation, airplane. But when I met Tom, he always checked corrected my pronunciation. So I always think that I have to lazy my pronunciation, my accent. So instead of saying airplane, you say airplane.
Airplane, yeah.
So you miss the R sound.
Yeah, we just don't overpronounce the R.
But R does have a sound.
It does, yeah. But
The British English, you don't really pronounce it.
Like, for example, we'll say, I think we're the same as the Americans, they'll say car.
Yeah.
And we'll say car.
Yeah.
That's quite close.
Sound is missing.
Car. Yeah, I know you're saying it sounds like an extended A, right?
Yeah. But that, if I didn't know this way, the British English accent, I will spell car as in C-A. No
C-A-A-A-A-A-A-A.
Yeah, car.
Car, yeah.
No R sound.
Yeah, car park.
对啊 car park, yeah. Water.
Water, yeah.
In 美国
Water. Water. I'm not sure, but they don't overpronounce the T in that sense. I'm not sure. I don't know. But as I say, some words they've got, I think, that are correct, that are better pronounced than the Middle English accent, and some words aren't.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, you were saying. So
we mentioned about different words in China and Taiwan, and now we just listed some different words in American English and British
美国的英文
English. 对，美国还有英国的